training video for the CSPI WordPress editing, and we're going to start here at the login. It's currently still in development mode, so it's on the Megaphone demo site /CSPI/WP admin. So you'll log in from the backside of the site. And this site is a little more complex than most, so there are several locations you need to go to make edits, more than just the Pages menu. But we will start here on Pages. And here you'll find all the pages within the site, but they also link out to other things. Some of the pages are more basic, for instance, About, and I'm going to sort these by title. If you go to About, you'll see that this is set up in page groups. And page groups have sections. And so, for instance, this first section, in this case, there's only one section. It is 100% width. And the content on this page, you don't have to have a title here, by the way. That's just more or less to help you know where you are on the page. The first section is the only section, and it includes the video, the header, the text. All of that is within this section all the way down. It is 100% width of the page and fills the page until the footer kicks in at the bottom. There are no other sections beneath that. This is just header title content. There's only one actual page group and section within this page. After you make edits on this page, that's pretty much like any WordPress site. Make your edits within the content box and hit update to see those changes on the live site. All of the style sheets are set here for the different headings. For instance, these red ones are heading 2. But you'll see all of those are set for the site to be consistent. And then, of course, regular text is set as paragraph text. Another thing that you'll want to watch out for, if you're missing pieces and parts that you want to edit, be sure to use the toolbar toggle, and that'll turn different things off and on. For instance, that's where formats is, so that you can make text extra small, extra large, change colors to one of the 4 definite colors within the site. Border buttons, there's like a predefined button setup, or style, I should say. And so that if you wanted to change a word into a button, you would highlight it and then choose that formatting, and then add the link to it as well, and it would become a button. Now let's look at some of the other pages. News and Events, for instance, has its own build out. It's actually not on this page yet. It's getting there. But we can see events on the home page currently right here. Those are located in the Events tool. And you can see there are 4 in here currently. Only 2 show up on the site, on the home page at a time. In this case, you may need to delete events, unfortunately. So then you would just hover over and trash those events. You can also hit Add New up here to create a new event. Very easy to do. Give it a title, fill in the all the details here, and you can set a featured image, and that's the image that will show up above the event information. So you can upload your featured image and set that there. You do want to make sure that those are a reasonable size, that they're not gigantic so they load quickly and all of that. It's also best if they're a consistent size. We have 2 sort of fillers in here right now. You can see one is short and one is tall. They look a little inconsistent. It's not the greatest. It'd be better if they were all the same size. Then another key feature here, when we go to the products page, and I know we have this content right now, it has not been put in yet, so we've got to get on that. This products page has a unique style with this sort of checkerboard pattern. Those links are here under product page links, and you can see all of those items are these items on the page. When you click one, like mobile banking, if you go into that, you'll see that the featured image is the image off to the side, and then you can drop the content in the spot, and that will show up here. And the title, the heading that goes right there, is up here at the top, and that pretty much fills out that page. Oh, except for the button. I forgot about that one. The button and the icon, those are down here under More Fields. And these are already built, so not that you would need to change those, but there is the link, the color of the button, the icon is all built in under more fields. Then once you go into an actual product page, so we're going to look at the mobile banking product page. This is where it gets a little bit complicated. So I'm going to start here on the pages window where I can see all the pages, and I'm going to view these in alphabetical order and then click on mobile banking so I can kind of walk through this on the front and back of the site. First of all, the first section, I've got to open these up. Sorry, these were zipped closed. So there are multiple sections within this site. The first one here you can see is 60% width, and it has a background image, which is this photograph. Makes sense. It goes 60% of the way over. And then the text, you'll see if you go down a little bit further that it is 40%. And here's the box with the text in it, and that is heading 2, that it's marked there. It's blue, heading 2. For the size anyway, it's heading 2. And there are a lot of other settings within here. Most of those you can ignore because these are pretty much preset, and they'll be built for each page, but you could just edit the content on those pages. The next section is this slider of blue boxes. So you can see this is 100% width, and the content is the slider called Rev Slider, and that's this Slider Revolution tool here. It's calling in the code for mobile slider. So there are a bunch of different slider revolutions, one for each of these products. And so each one of those will be listed here. The code will be pulling in that slider with this content. And we can look at that in a little more detail too. Then if you move on, the next section is another 100% section, and it's actually the rest of the page. And it pulls in the product template, products page, and the category is mobile. Okay, so that seems really complicated, but again, it's pulling in a secondary tool. And the reason why it's doing that, and it's not just all built into the page, is because it has to work well on mobile. And because of the format of this page, if it wasn't built like this, it would look really strange on mobile. And so what we're doing then is pulling in this products tool. So if I click on products here, you'll see there's a bunch of items already listed in here. Those are each one of these sections for every product page. So in this case, we're looking at the mobile customers product. And so I'm going to view those in alphabetical order. And here, sure enough, is mobile customers. Keep in mind there are 2 pages of these, so I'm only on page 1. Mobile customers, I click on that. Again, the product title is up here. Then I've got a featured image. It's here. And the text is right here. Now, the key feature to this that makes this show up on the right page is it's in the category mobile. Remember when we were looking at the other page and it had the code calling in the mobile slug? Well, that's what this is. It's saying put this on the mobile page. And so it pulls in that section and then flows that very nicely on mobile when it's sized down, where it's sort of picture, text, and so forth, where it looks good. So those are the key features that you'll be using the most often. There are a lot of other features in this site too. For instance, let's go down here to Slider Revolution. You can see on Slider Revolution, first of all, there should be the home page, and let's see if I can find that here. The home page slider. Most of the time, probably Firehouse will be editing this because this is kind of a complex slider to do these boxes that are moving in, and we'd like to do 1 or 2 other photos in there with boxes. But there are actually like different animations running that's pulling that in piece by piece. And so we'll do that for a couple of different slides to give you a couple of different options there. But then all the other sliders in the site are those ones on the product pages where we were back here. Let's go back and go to mobile banking. And need to go back. Sorry, I need to go back one more time over here till I get to all the product sliders. Okay, here we go. So you'll see there are a bunch of other sliders in here. There's three pages worth. I'm going to go ahead and say show 12 per page. Okay, now you can see all of them. So for instance, we were talking about the mobile banking slider. If I open that up, there will be boxes in here, and they are built with these animations so that they slide through all of that content. So again, that's a little more complex setup because of how this site is built and all the different tools that are going on. But there are various slides that make up those blue boxes. So you can see here, if I go to the different slides, I get different text for each one, and that text is really just a text box, and it can be edited if we have something wrong, need to update something there. You just have to go to the appropriate slider in Slider Revolution and then find the appropriate slide to get to the right blue box and edit the text. So that's all the basic tools within this site. Right now, there's also the store feature that's coming, but that'll get you a long ways, and feel free to contact me. We're currently working on this site. Megaphone is also working on this site. Lots of depth to this one, and we'll continue to build out those pages. Thank you.